Okay, welcome back to another workout video. Today is day 3 of the football off-season training plan. What we're going to do today is we're going to do some plyometrics, some sprints, and then we're going to go into the gym and we're going to do some strength work, single leg work, and some hamstring work. And then we're going to do some accessories as well, a little bit of hip flexor and groin work also. This one could be quite a long one just because we have to go to the park to do some sprints. The gym I go to doesn't have enough room to do sprints inside, so we have to come to a park. It's only like a 5-minute walk away, which isn't too bad, quite lucky in that, so that I can do my sprints and then do strength work like right after. But yeah, today will be quite a long one, which is fine. Because it's only day 3, we're still just trying to get back into it, so we're just going to work on gradually progressing the plyometrics. We're going to do some different kind of sprints today. We're going to do some change of direction ones. Also, we're going to try and do them a little bit longer, so we're going to try. On Monday we did 20 meter, 10 meter and 20 meter sprints. Today we're going to start with a 20 meter sprint, and then we're going to try and get up to like a 30 meter sprint, just so we're getting a little bit longer, a little bit more top end speed kind of work. But we're also going to do some change of direction work, so just like a little lateral side and then go and sprint from there. Nothing too crazy. Again, still day 3, so we don't want to do too much volume on this. We're just going to do, normally if I'm doing a proper speed session, I'll try and get around about 200 to 260 meters of sprints in overall, but today we'll just see how we get on. Aim for about 120, 150 meters of sprint work. And yeah, the plyometrics, not going to do too much, just slowly gradually increasing intensity and getting to a couple high intensity ones. It's just going to be hops today for them. But then yeah, the strength work, we're just going to go on some single leg, heavy single leg work, a little bit nordics, working on the hamstrings, and finish with a little bit of accessories. So that's what's got planned today, so let's get right into it. All we're going to do is a little bit of hops here to start with, so it's just little hops, forward, backwards, sideways, zigzag, all around, just to like bridge the gap between the warm-up and the high intense plyometric work. So just kind of gets the ankle warmed up, gets me feeling good for the sprints, feeling a little bit more elasticy. So yeah, I'm going to go with that, just show you what it is. Okay, now we're going to go into something I like to call medium hops. We're just gradually increasing that intensity from the light hops to the medium hops. Then we're going to go into the high intensity hops with a tuck. For these, it's 2 sets of 8 reps. These aren't quite high intensity plyometrics, but they're also not low intensity plyometrics. They're just bridging that gap between the two. That's why I like to do them. It just acts as like an extra warm up just to go in so you feel prepared for those high intense plyometrics. Okay, now we're going to go with the high intense plyometrics. It's just going to be hops with a tuck. So it's just basically a little bit higher intense than those medium hops. So I just like this form of doing light, medium, high intense, and it just works nice and smoothly. And it's a good way to make the high intense plyos a bit better because you're actually proper warmed up and you're proper ready to do them. Okay, so that's the plyometric work done for the day. So now we're going to move on to our sprint work. So we're going to start with the change of direction work first. We're going to do a little lateral movement to a cone, come back, and then sprint as fast as we can for 20 meters. We're going to do a few reps of them, then we're going to go into a linear 30 meter sprints. Okay, so for the change direction sprint we're doing now, we're just doing a lateral shuttle to the marker, then sprint in as fast as we can, 20 meters through the gates, so we can time it. These gates, again, as I said before, are great. They're from Skills SKLZ, quite cheap as well. And they time your sprints, which is really important to driving that intent for your sprint work. So yeah, they're great. Every sprint we're going to rest about 90 seconds to 2 minutes in between each sprint, just to make it a proper speed session. If you don't do that, it ends up just being a conditioning workout, which is again not the goal of this session. So yeah, we're going to do 3 more of these, and we're going to do 2 sprints at 30 meters, then we're going to do our strength work. Okay, so just because it's already set up at 20 meters, we're just going to leave it at that. We're going to do another 2 to 4 reps of this, see how we feel. So sprint times are actually pretty good right now. They're getting lower and lower and lower. So I want to keep going with this, see if I can keep improving it with the 20 meters and the change of direction. I'm quite enjoying it. So instead of just changing it up, I'm going to stick with it because it seems to be going well for me. So I'm going to stick going with this instead of changing 30 meters because I need to try and measure it out. It's just going to take a little bit more time. So I'd rather just get it done like this. It feels good. Sprint times are coming down, so we're going to keep going with this. Those last two sprint times kind of went up a little bit, which means that they were slower. So we're just going to stop the session there. 6 sprints, 20 meters, pretty good. Happy with that. 120 meters done. It's kind of goal anyway to do between that and 150. So we'll take that because once like the speed drops off, you're kind of better just stopping the session because if you just keep going, it ends up like you're not actually going as fast as you can. It ends up not being a good session towards the end. So we want to keep the quality high. That's the aim with the sprint session. So now we're going to go do some strength work. Okay, now we're on to the strength work. We're doing the reverse searcher lunge, one of the hardest exercises I've done for lower body, but because it's like a single leg exercise, it means I can work up to quite a heavy rep max without having to do a ton of warm up sets. So that's why I like doing that kind of single leg stuff, especially on this kind of day. So we managed to get up to a 3 rep max. Right now we're hitting 90 kg for the reverse lunge. We're just going to see how it goes. We're going to do one more set. So we've done 2 sets. We've done 1 set of that already. We did 1 set at 80, 1 set at 90. We're going to do another set at 90. I feel like I could maybe push it up a little bit, maybe, but we'll do another set, see how I feel. If I feel good, and we might go up to like 95 or 100 kgs. But yeah, on these kind of days, like one day a week, I like to do heavy strength work, like with bilateral work, like with back squats or trap bar deadlift. And the other day, I like to do like a different kind of exercise, like a single leg exercise. It's just not as much overall load on the body. It's still getting a good strength stimulus in. And it just, doing this has definitely helped. Like I used to get a lot of back pain. But ever since like not doing 2 bilateral days a week, definitely notice a difference and definitely feel my back pain is nowhere near as bad. So that's why I like to do like one day single leg and different kind of movements, and the other day a heavy bilateral movement. So yeah, we're gonna get back into this. We're gonna do 1 set 90 for 3 reps, and then we'll see. And if we can feel good, we'll go heavier. If not, we'll just do another set that way. Jesus. Okay, so now we're on nordics. One of my favorite hamstring exercises, to be honest. I like to do them in RDLs. Now that the football season is over, it's a good time to manage to get one day of nordics, one day of RDLs, or one day of like a RDL kind of variation, like a single leg, double leg. We'll be changing it up each time, so that'll be on the lower body strength day. And on this day, we're going to try and stick to Nordics because getting a full Nordic, well, I can normally do a full Nordic. Today I kind of struggled, but normally when I can get a full Nordic, but the goal would be to get like 3 to 5 in a row, which would feel like my hamstrings are very, very strong if I can manage that. But yeah, that's why like for the eccentric part, it's kind of easier to get down. It's more just that concentric part, manage to get back up. That's why I like to add the medicine ball in, just to shorten that range of motion. Means that you're actually working on the concentric part. Because if you're just in the eccentric part, you're never really going to get good at the concentric part. And I think for this exercise, it's a good idea to do both. To be honest, for every exercise, I think it's better to do the eccentric and the concentric part. So if you need to shorten the range of motion, do that. It's just a way to make it easier and way to progress into doing a full concentric. But yeah, they were good. We've done 2 sets of full Nordics with no band. We're going to do 1 set with just band, just to get some extra volume in on the hamstrings. And because with the band, I can do full reps. So I can do eccentric and concentric. So that's why I'm adding the band in just for the final set. Get a little extra volume in the hamstrings too. Last one. Doing my groins is something I neglect a lot. And yeah, it's a really important muscle. Like it's used in everything, like sprinting, jumping. When you're squatting, you're activating your groin quite a lot. So it's quite an important muscle to work. But just for some reason, I always just kind of neglect it and don't do any work on it. So we're going to try and get at least 1 day a week doing at least one groin exercise. I do like to do more, but maybe on the other strength day we'll do another one. But yeah, so we're going to do Copenhagen's today. I mean, my 2 favorite exercises are probably Copenhagen's and lateral squats or lateral lunges for the groin, but there's so many exercises you can do. We'll be changing up over the next few weeks, but we're going to start with the Copenhagen for today. Okay, that's just done for the day. So that was a good session. I really enjoyed those sprints I did. The times were actually pretty good, which I was shocked at. But yeah, because this is only the first week, I'm quite happy to have got those decent times in the sprints. Yeah, I quite like combining a sprint day and then a little bit of weight work too. It seems to work quite well. And it's better doing like a single leg kind of thing, I think, for me, because on the next session, it's going to be a heavy lower body bilateral lift. And before that, we're going to do jumps instead of sprints. Because I always like to do something athletic at the start of the session. So even the upper body days, like yesterday, we did the jumps and then we did some upper body stuff. On Monday, we did sprints. That was the only session with just sprints. And today we did sprints and then some weights. Tomorrow we're going to do some upper body plyometrics and then some upper body strength. And then on Friday, we're going to do some jumps. And then we're going to go into heavy bilateral squats and heavy kind of stuff. So it's always good to do something athletic at the start session. So I like to just mix it up between jumps, upper body plyometrics and upper body days, and some sprints, some sprints and some plyometrics also. Yeah, because the main goal is like maintaining that athleticism and improving that athleticism. So the only way to do that is to do athletic things as much as you can, and without fatiguing yourself too much. So, microdosing it in and doing like 4 days a week or 5 days a week of athletic kind of things is perfect. Before your strength work, something like that. 10 it only takes like 20 minutes to do some sort of like athletic thing before your strength work, and it can have huge benefits for you. So, yeah, that's why I like doing these kind of like jumps, sprints, and that before doing heavy weight lifting. Yeah, but that's all I've got for the video today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.